During the 2016 election, 46% of voters ages 18 to 29 cast a ballot, which begs the question, how do we get younger folks to actually vote? Joining me this morning is Rina Patel. She is a parenting expert and behavior analyst. Good morning. I want to start off first. Why is it important to start youngsters thinking about the voting process, and how young is too young?
Well, you're never too young to start as long as your child is developmentally ready. So, and there's different aspects of talking about the whole election process that I think is important to expose them to. But think about a child or a young adult who is 18, and all of a sudden you were starting to talk to them, encourage them, what many of us do, and go out and vote, and they haven't even been exposed to the process, or they don't understand the why behind it. It's harder to get them, motivate them, and encourage them to do so. So why not start young and early?
And I think something that you talk about is being a good role model. I can tell you that since my children were very young, I would bring them to the ballot with me. I'd actually bring them into the voting booth and show them that I'm filling out a circle. They may not have known what was going on, but I wanted them to at least see that process, and for them getting the sticker was very exciting. But what are other ways that we can be role models for our children, or just children in our lives?
Right. I mean, children learn by watching and doing. And so it is important to model the process, talking about it, bring out the map, and just so basic. I always talk about the election process as being a learning moment as well. I mean, think about in school, we talk about all the wars, all the history. Embed voting, the election process, the fact that it is a privilege to be able to do so. So there's some math to it as well. So use it as a learning point. Take out a visual United States map, talk about what it means to calculate ballots as they get older, talk about the electoral count. So you can definitely use manipulatives to do so. So all of those are important. And as children get older, start to help them research the candidates, let them help contribute and talk about some of the facts.
Yeah, I like that you talk about using an actual academic lesson, using math for younger students, have them do research about candidates. When you talk about candidates, I thought it was interesting that you recommend telling your children who you're voting for and why. Why is that important?
Well, I think this is a little bit twofold. Oftentimes, a child might ask you, who are you voting for? And we just name the name. But it's really important as a family to talk about the why. What are your values? Why is it that you're aligning yourself with a particular candidate? Because when you go to that election booth, or if you do an absentee ballot, you're doing so with your family in mind, right? Think about healthcare, think about education. It isn't just you that's making a decision, you're making one on behalf of your family. So that is why it's important to tell your children know the why behind who it is that you're choosing.
And to that point, I think there's a lot of discourse about the voting process, about who is in office, and you recommend explaining or discussing with your children what it means to have a healthy disagreement about voting, about who is in office, who is about to take office. How can we do that in a healthy way?
That's just a good question, because I think about having every family member, extended family member at a dinner table, and just the opinions that go across, and children witness that, and sometimes it can get a little bit more uncomfortable than what we expect. But I think it's important for children to know that it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have differences in opinions. It's just how we handle it and how we problem solve. So I really want children to see you as adults model that behavior. So aside from differences, it's okay that we have differing views, but it is still that we can still love each other. We can still go on with our day. And I think that's what's really important. It's politics. It should be compartmentalized.
Rina Patel, thank you so much for your wisdom. I think we all together need to encourage all of us 18 years old and older to vote. Appreciate your time this morning.